Every morning, millions of people wake up to the same routine. They get ready for the day, travel to work, complete tasks, and return home exhausted. Then the next day, the cycle begins again. At first, this pattern feels normal. Working, earning money, paying bills, and repeating the process seems like the natural structure of adult life. But over time, many people begin to notice something strange. Years pass, effort accumulates, and yet financial freedom still feels far away. Despite working hard, progress often feels slow. And eventually, a difficult question appears. Why do so many people spend their entire lives running in this cycle without escaping it? This endless pattern is often called the rat race. And the uncomfortable truth is that most people never escape it. Not because they lack intelligence, not because they lack ambition, but because powerful habits and invisible pressures quietly keep them inside the system. The rat race is not about having a specific job. It is not about earning a certain level of income. People from many financial backgrounds experience the same cycle. The rat race is a system where time is constantly exchanged for income. Money arrives through effort, expenses quickly follow, and the process repeats. The problem is not work itself. Work can be meaningful and productive. The problem is the pattern where progress depends entirely on continuing the cycle. If the cycle stops, income stops. And this structure makes long-term freedom difficult to achieve. Very few people consciously decide to enter the rat race. Instead, it develops slowly over time. First come responsibilities. Then come commitments. Then come expectations. Each step adds another layer of dependence on stable income. Rent or housing costs appear. Daily expenses become consistent. Long-term obligations emerge. And gradually life becomes more structured around maintaining stability. With every new responsibility, flexibility becomes smaller. And the idea of changing direction begins to feel more risky. One of the most common traps inside the rat race is lifestyle expansion.
When income increases, spending often increases as well. New comforts appear, new expectations develop, and the standard of living rises. At first, this feels like progress. Life becomes more comfortable. But financial pressure often remains because expenses quietly adjust to match income. Instead of creating freedom, higher earnings simply create a more expensive lifestyle, and the cycle continues. Another powerful force that keeps people inside the rat race is fear of uncertainty. The known path may feel exhausting, but it is predictable. It provides structure, it provides stability. The unknown, on the other hand, feels uncertain. Change introduces risk, and risk can feel uncomfortable. So many people continue following familiar routines, even when those routines limit their growth, because the discomfort of uncertainty feels greater than the discomfort of repetition. Another reason people remain trapped in the rat race is short-term thinking. When financial pressure exists, attention focuses on immediate needs: the next bill, the next obligation, the next deadline. This constant focus on the present leaves little space for long-term strategy. Instead of building future freedom, energy is spent maintaining current stability. And slowly, years pass while life operates in maintenance mode. Without realizing it, people become experts at sustaining the system rather than escaping it. At the center of the rat race lies a simple exchange. Time is traded for income. As long as income depends entirely on time invested, freedom remains limited because time is finite. There are only so many hours in a day. And when income depends on those hours, stepping away from work means stepping away from income. This structure makes long-term independence difficult without strategic change. And many people never pause long enough to question this structure. Another force that keeps people in the rat race is social expectation. Society often defines success through visible lifestyle, comfort, possessions, status. These expectations create pressure to maintain appearances, even when those appearances come with financial cost. Instead of building independence, people begin building lifestyles designed to match expectations. And maintaining those lifestyles require continuing the cycle, which keeps people inside the system. For many people, awareness appears gradually. One day they pause and reflect on their routine. Years of effort have passed, responsibilities have grown, yet financial freedom still feels distant. The realization can feel uncomfortable because it raises an important question. If the current path continues unchanged, where will it lead? And sometimes that question becomes the beginning of change. Escaping the rat race rarely happens through one dramatic decision. Instead, it usually begins with awareness, understanding the patterns, questioning assumptions, looking at time and money differently. Small changes in perspective lead to small changes in behavior. Those changes begin to influence decisions, and over time, those decisions can slowly create a different path. Not instantly, but gradually. The rat race is powerful because it feels normal. It feels familiar. It feels safe. But familiarity does not always mean progress. Sometimes the most important step is simply recognizing the pattern. Because once the pattern becomes visible, change becomes possible. And the moment someone begins to question the system, they also begin to imagine life outside it. If you want to understand money in a simple way, subscribe. New videos are published regularly to explore how money, habits, and mindset shape financial life. And tell me in the comments, do you think escaping the rat race depends more on mindset or strategy?